Sinister Neighbour. The Johnson family had always prided themselves on living in the safest neighborhood in town. Evergreen Heights was a picturesque place, with its neatly trimmed lawns, friendly neighbors, and the occasional community potluck. When the house next door was sold, the whole street buzzed with curiosity about the new occupants. The arrival of Mr. Theodore Blackwood, a charming yet reclusive man in his early 40s, sparked more than a few whispers. Mr. Blackwood kept to himself, rarely seen outside his home. When he did venture out, he wore a wide-brimmed hat and dark sunglasses, even on cloudy days. He was polite but distant, his presence both intriguing and unsettling. It wasn't long before strange things began happening. The Johnsons' dog, Max, would bark furiously at Mr. Blackwood's house, hackles raised as if sensing something malevolent. At night, Sarah Johnson would sometimes hear faint chanting carried on the wind from the direction of the Blackwood residence. One evening, while taking out the trash, Tom Johnson saw a flickering light in Mr. Blackwood's window. It looked like candlelight, casting eerie shadows that danced on the walls. The silhouette of Mr. Blackwood moved about, performing what seemed to be a ritual. Curiosity got the better of Tom. He started investigating Mr. Blackwood's past, discovering that Theodore Blackwood was a historian specializing in occult practices. His articles were respected in academic circles but had a darker, almost obsessive tone about them. One night, Tom's wife, Sarah, woke up to find him missing from their bed. Panicking, she searched the house and eventually found him standing in the backyard, staring at Mr. Blackwood's house. He was in a trance-like state, mumbling incoherently. It took several minutes to snap him out of it, and he had no memory of how he got there. The neighborhood children began to act strangely, whispering among themselves about the man of shadows, who promised to grant wishes. Sarah found a small, carved idol under her son's bed, an idol that matched the descriptions in Blackwood's articles about ancient, forbidden deities. Desperate and frightened, Sarah confronted Mr. Blackwood. He welcomed her in with a chilling smile and invited her to see his work. His house was filled with shelves of old, leather-bound books, strange artifacts, and symbols painted in dark red. In the center of the living room was an altar with black candles and a bowl filled with what looked like blood. Mr. Blackwood explained that he was a practitioner of ancient rites, seeking to commune with beings from beyond the mortal realm. He claimed he could harness their power to bring prosperity, or ruin. Sarah fled the house and contacted the police, but they found nothing unusual. Determined to protect her family, she reached out to a local historian who knew about Blackwood's dark studies. The historian provided Sarah with information on how to disrupt the ritual Mr. Blackwood was planning, a summoning that would give him unimaginable power. On the night of the new moon, when the ritual was to take place, Sarah and Tom sneaked into Mr. Blackwood's house. They disrupted the altar, scattering the dark symbols and extinguishing the candles. Mr. Blackwood appeared, enraged and transformed by the dark magic he had invoked. His eyes glowed with an unnatural light, and his voice echoed with the power of otherworldly entities. In a desperate struggle, Sarah used the historian's notes to chant a banishment spell. The house shook as if an earthquake had hit, and Mr. Blackwood's form began to waver, torn between this world and the next. With a final, ear-piercing scream, he vanished, leaving behind only the lingering scent of sulfur and the faintest whisper of ancient words. The police never found any trace of Theodore Blackwood. The house was sold again, this time to a family unaware of its dark history. The Johnsons, however, never spoke of what truly happened, content to leave the past buried. But sometimes, on quiet nights, Sarah still hears faint chanting on the wind and wonders if Mr. Blackwood ever truly left.
Dear viewers, if you like to watch the scariest horror stories, do subscribe, like and share our channel. Thank you.